Prediction 2025 AI altcoin with 25 times potential. Imagine if you had invested €1,000 in AITech a few months ago, and by the end of 2026 you could be sitting on €25,000. Sounds too good to be true. But that's exactly the kind of potential a little altcoin called AITech has. In this video, we'll take a look together at what AITech can do, whether it really has 25 times potential, which technologies are behind it, and why experts are currently extremely bullish on this token. But not everything that glitters is gold. I'll also show you, in this complete analysis, the risks involved that you absolutely need to be aware of. And at the end, you'll also hear my personal assessment of whether it's worth getting in now or not. Welcome to 10x by Marius, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. First off, let's talk about why no one is actually talking about AITech. It's the first deflationary AI altcoin that has already overtaken Bitcoin in one respect. My analysis shows that there's genuinely hidden potential here that many investors are completely overlooking. But first, let's go back to the basics. What actually is AITech? AITech stands for Solid AI Technology, a blockchain platform that combines artificial intelligence with high-performance computing. So, what's the goal? To make AI power accessible to everyone, for developers, for businesses, but also, for example, for governments. And what's extremely exciting is that the project operates an 8,000 square foot, Tier 2 neutral data center in Europe, which is quite unique. Another special feature is that AITech is the first deflationary AI token, in other words, the world's first utility token with a burn rate of 5 to 10% on every service payment made. So, what's the market problem, and which market problem does it actually solve? The problem is that Europe lacks affordable and fast HPC infrastructures, meaning computing power for AI projects. Many companies here pay far too much or have to resort to overseas providers, which of course leads to high costs and significant delays. AITech's solution is its own energy-efficient supercomputer with a blockchain payment system. This naturally enables transparent, secure, and scalable AI services. The result: lower costs, greater efficiency, and, for example, faster market introduction of AI applications. Now let's move on to the technical highlights of AITech. They use NVIDIA GPUs and an optimized infrastructure that is up to 40% more energy efficient than any other standard solutions. That's a real game changer, of course. Then there's an AI marketplace and a GPU marketplace with no-code tools like AgentFork, for example, so it's perfect for developers without programming knowledge, in other words, beginners as well. And the token serves as a means of payment, a governance tool for staking, and thanks to the burn model, the supply becomes scarcer with every use. So now the question is, of course, what are the market opportunities? What potential does the coin have? With a current market capitalization of $6 to $7 million, AITech is still considered a low-cap project, which means there's high risk, but of course also enormous potential. The market for AI and blockchain could reach trillions by 2030. Even small market shares can lead to major price movements. The price scenarios are extremely exciting for you. You definitely don't want to miss out on this. In the extreme case, a 25 times return could be possible. Why? That's what the full analysis will show, of course. But of course, there are also risks. Strong competition from cloud providers, for example, high technological complexity, and also the dependence on a central data center, for instance. On top of that, there's the general volatility in the crypto market, but especially in the low-cap sector. Because they still have such low caps, or a low market capitalization, there's obviously a risk there as well. So, make sure you watch the analysis in detail right to the end so that you're fully informed. And at the end, you can then make a decision for yourself. So if you want to know how AITech will develop over the next few months or years, and which price targets you should keep an eye on, then grab yourself a coffee and leave a like for me. And if you want to support me as a YouTube member, then become a Xenix supporter now. It only costs you a coffee a month, but it supports me massively. Thanks for your support, and now let's get started. But a quick disclaimer, my channel is not financial advice, it's purely for information. Let's start with the market cap. Here, it's at 6 to 7 million. As already mentioned, that makes it a low cap project. That's obviously extremely exciting. Why? Small market caps often see quicker and stronger increases, especially when demand picks up. But of course, that also means higher risk. But I still remember back in 2021, other AI coins managed to go from 60 to 600 million in just a few months. And it's these kinds of growth stories that are especially exciting in the altcoin space. In this area, they're very well positioned. The market cap is low, but the potential is high. That's why it's a strong 8 here as well. So, what about the circulating supply? Circulating supply, out of a total of 2 billion AITech tokens, 155 million are already in circulation. That's a good 77.5%, and that's very good. Now, of course, the question is, why is this important? Well, a high circulating supply naturally also means less risk, because there's less risk of dilution. So it can't suddenly happen that a massive number of tokens are dumped onto the market, which would obviously just push the price back down. Yes, of course, the advantage is that they already have quite a lot of tokens on the market. And by the way, if you want to buy AITech or other altcoins, then I recommend my favorite crypto exchange. You'll find lots of altcoins there. They also have some extremely exciting products. I've definitely made a tutorial as well. You'll find all the information below in the pinned comment, and at the top I'll link a video to a tutorial. Definitely a strong 7 in this area here. Next point, roadmap. AITech has a clear and actionable roadmap. In Q3 2025, the AI marketplace is coming, for example, a GPU marketplace as well. On top of that, there's an expansion of the data center. Specifically, on the 12th of June, the new NVIDIA data center was launched, for example. On the 16th of June, airdrops followed. This shows that the team is working towards measurable goals and not just visions. When it comes to the roadmap, they are extremely well positioned here. 9. Now we come to the team. Paul Fari, Adrian Sotica, and a strong team from the fields of AI and blockchain, as well as an enterprise structure. People who have previously worked at, for example, Cisco, DXC, or IBM. Of course, that inspires confidence, because a good team can save a project, while a bad team can destroy it. But here, in terms of the team, they are extremely strong. That's why it's a 9. So, what about the narrative? The story of AITech is clear: democratizing AI, providing access to high-performance computing, and all of it CO2 neutral. This is especially important for Europe, of course. In America, it wouldn't be as important. Narratives are always extremely important in the crypto market. They bring attention, media coverage, and new investors. That's why it's a strong 9 here. Next, what problem are they actually solving? Europe has too few affordable HPC resources. Of course, this drives up costs and slows down AI development. But AITech offers a solution here: an energy-efficient supercomputing center, blockchain-based with transparent payments. Here, too, they're really extremely well positioned again, because this is especially needed in Europe. 9. Next, what about energy efficiency? 100% clean energy, 40% more efficient hardware, 80% less energy consumption thanks to innovative cooling. This isn't just some kind of greenwashing, it actually reduces operating costs and hits the zeitgeist. You have to remember, we're talking about Europe here. Electricity costs are extremely high. That means you have to work efficiently. In this area, a strong 9. Now let's move on to investors and capital. They had raised $6.84 million US. Investors like Carstrom Capital Ventures on board. That's solid, but not excessively large either. The advantage is still less dependence on individual investors. They're solidly positioned here, so a 7. Next, who are the competitors? Of course, there is competition. On the one hand, from the traditional sector, AWS, Google Cloud AI, but also blockchain-based platforms like Fetch.ai. But AITech is pursuing a clear niche model, AI, HPC, and blockchain. So, an extremely exciting combination. And if you want to see more exciting altcoins, or my dual formats, or my news videos, especially those focused entirely on altcoins, then subscribe to my channel now, because next weekend I'll be analyzing 2 more altcoins that are extremely interesting for you. And have a look at the playlist. The 10x universe is also extremely exciting. Here, definitely a strong 7. Now, let's move on to marketing. Active on social media, influencer partnerships, armors, community events, startup grants. The marketing seems well thought out and aims at community growth. And ultimately, on CoinMarketCap, they're ranked among the top areas. So, in that respect, they're well positioned here. 8. How simple is the idea? No-code tools, easy access to GPU power. This way, anyone can use AI applications, even without technical know-how. By the way, did you understand AITech at the beginning? I did explain it, let me know in the comments, but in any case, a strong 8 here, because they're easy to understand. Next, long-term vision, global expansion, focus on healthcare, finance, gaming, and sustainable artificial intelligence. No short-term hype. Here, they have clear goals for the future. A strong 9. Next, onto tokenomics. Is the coin deflationary? As mentioned at the beginning, a burn of 5 to 10% from every use, and they have a maximum of 2 billion tokens. Scarcity increases value if demand rises. In this area, they are extremely well positioned. 9. Next, what does the fully diluted market capitalization look like? FDV is less than 10 times the market cap. What does that mean? No absurd negative valuation risk. On the contrary, they are highly valued. There aren't many surprises here anymore. 10. Then, what about liquidity? The volume, 21.6% ratio. This is extremely high and healthy. They are really well valued here, extremely liquid, and trade well. It is also extremely important for you if you want to buy or sell it, so 10 here as well. Then, how was the initial token distribution? 30% to the community, 64% locked until 2028. This means burning naturally protects against dumping, and a lockup period is also a good safeguard. A strong 9. Next, top coin holders. What is the concentration like? There is no extreme concentration of votes. As mentioned, lockup periods reduce the risk. You are in a solid position here. 7. Then, what is actually the benefit of the token? Payment, staking, governance, premium features, multiple uses in the ecosystem. And that is huge. It is also extremely important that the coin is actively used and needed. A strong 9 in that area. Then there's the community, active on social media, events, grants, your own debit card, also very exciting. They are very strong in the community area. As I said, they are growing rapidly. By the way, are you already a holder of AITech? Then write it in the comments, #AITech. That's good for the algorithm and, of course, also to get a bit of visibility for the coin. So here as well, a strong 9. What major events are coming up soon? What's planned? That is extremely important. The more visible an altcoin is, the higher the chance, of course, that some people will buy it. Major events are planned for 2025. We've got the AI and GPU marketplace, data launch, airdrops. All of these are for potential, and of course positive, price impulses. In this area, they're strongly positioned, with several updates planned for this year. A strong 9. Let's get back to the result. To be honest, AITech is one of those altcoins for me where you either get in too early, or you come in far too late and it's all over. And after this analysis, I'm pretty sure that anyone who ignores it now could end up regretting it in a few years. But first, let's move on to a brief summary. I'll just bring up my 10x ranking list here. I've got all the altcoins I've ever analyzed on there, with a ranking. They've got 79.4%. That's in the upper mid-range. That's a solid score. Why? Here we've got a cheap valuation in the low-cap sector, meaning the potential is enormous. We've got a real use case here. Artificial intelligence, high-performance computing for everyone. On top of that, there's a strong tokenomics with a deflationary model, a clear roadmap, a high circulating supply, and a growing, strong community. All in all, it's already extremely strong and there's hardly any competition. The AI blockchain narrative is only just beginning, and they've discovered a niche that's even more exciting. Because this area is only just starting to heat up now. Does that mean you should go all in now? No, absolutely not. But for me, AITech is currently one of the most exciting altcoins in the low-cap sector, especially in the AI space. Anyone who gets in early could benefit massively here. Especially, of course, if the roadmap is followed through and the market recognizes its value. But before we get to price scenarios, if you appreciate these in-depth data analyses and want to dive deeper, rather than just relying on luck, then I have just the thing for you. Here's a little self-promotion for my Zenix Elite membership. Become part of the smartest crypto community, where you don't rely on hype, but on clear numbers, data, and facts. What do you get? Insight into my portfolio, access to the complete Zenix ranking list, all the altcoins I've ever analyzed, a ranking list with percentage scores, with a link to the YouTube video. This way, you can prepare perfectly for the altcoin season. You'll find all the information in the video description, including a tutorial. Don't miss this under any circumstances. And if you want a 30% bonus now, use the code 10x. Let's return to the pricing scenarios. Bear scenario. Let's start with the worst case. Imagine the crypto market is weakening. Investors are really avoiding risky projects like AITech, and the coin is naturally making slow progress. In this case, the price could either stay at a similar level, drop slightly, or rise slightly. Here, it's not some kind of crash into oblivion, but it's also nothing super strong in the current bull run. This scenario is more for the patient ones, those who might stick around until 2030 and then get rewarded. Here, prices between 0.007 and 0.013 US would be possible. Then the next scenario, the normal scenario. This is more like the base scenario. The market grows moderately, AI remains a trending topic, but AITech delivers consistently. Here, we're already talking about a solid multiplication. Not overnight, but step by step, driven by the increasing demand for AI and AI computing power. This is definitely a sweet spot here for those who are ready to hold AITech for a few months or years. Here, 0.32 or even up to 0.64 US would be possible. Now let's move on to the optimistic scenario. Now things are getting exciting. Ask yourself the question, could AI explode? The chances are high. AITech could gain an extreme market share. Above all, the deflationary token model really comes into play. In this case, we could see a price increase that would not only attract investors, but of course also bring the media back onto the scene. A scenario for early entrants, who could then achieve double-digit returns several times over. Here, price scenarios of 0.96 to 1.93 US would theoretically be possible, purely mathematically, based on the market cap. But now let's move on to the very optimistic scenario. A dream for every crypto investor. The crypto market enters a new bull run phase, especially now with the altcoin season. It begins. AI is not just a trend, but a permanent fixture in the industry. AITech becomes one of the best-known brands in the crypto sector. Partnerships, expansion, and massive media presence drive the price to new heights. And what few dare to dream of today could become reality. In this scenario, we're talking about a multiple of the current value, especially for early birds or true legends in the space. Here, 3.22 to 6.45 US would theoretically be mathematically possible. And now, Vision 2030. Let's look far ahead into the future. How could AI tech develop by 2030? AI and blockchain work together seamlessly. Global networks of data centers, a thriving marketplace for AI services, and a token that becomes the industry standard. If AI tech achieves that, $25.8 would be possible. Whether that becomes reality, of course, depends on how well they deliver, how well the crypto market develops overall in the end, and how strongly the token continues to be adopted by the community. But these are all just mathematical calculations and not financial advice. By the way, if you're interested in more altcoins, I now have an altcoin for you that you shouldn't miss. Why this altcoin even surprised me is something you should find out for yourself. I'll link it here for you. Enjoy the next analysis. Thanks for watching, and let's 10x.